So let me guess, you're feeling a little bit stuck because you don't know how to build a relationship with a broker because you live thousands of kilometers or miles away. Well, in this video, I'm going to give you a couple of tips that are going to help you to build those relationships coming up. Hey there, it's Billy with Keep On Cash Flow, and I'm back once again to share some tips and strategies with you that are going to help you to go out and make more money. They're going to help you to have more control of your free time and ultimately live with less stress. So if it's your first time here, I'm going to go ahead and ask you right up front to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And when you like the content that you see, go ahead and give it a like and make sure that you share it with other friends of yours, because by you sharing it with other friends, they're like-minded people. It's going to help you to attract more people to our tribe. So thank you for that right up front. And I want to make sure that I'm answering this pretty difficult question. And actually the question came up from most of you know that like to provide you with many different ways to get in touch with me and contact so we can have our communication open. I mean, I know that I've talked to you about that in the past, exactly why I love answering your questions. And today is absolutely no different. I'm going to answer another one of your questions that has come through one of the different channels. So one of this one specifically was through our Facebook channel. But very recently, I was on a podcast with a guy named Matt Balcells. It was the Real Estate Journeys podcast. And we talked about living in one place and investing in another. And I mean specifically where you can live on one continent and you can invest on another continent. And so one of the questions that actually came through that I want to share with you here, and this is what we're going to get right into the meat of the question, and how you can go out and build a relationship with a broker that is living tens of thousands of kilometers or miles away. So here's the question. Hey Billy, just listened. Good information. Could you give me a little more information on building up relationships with a broker that is not in the country where you live? How do you get past but you don't have XYZ income, or you don't have income in XYZ country objection? First of all, I want to thank you for making it a public comment, which is really, really cool. A lot of you send me direct messages, and this is great. So we're going to take the opportunity to answer this question specifically. And the answer is pretty much made me think a lot about actually my own kind of relationship and the way it started. And if you give me just a second, I'd like to share that with you actually. Because when I was young, I was very single, like most of you. And so you go through this phase of your life where you're single and you're going out and you're meeting lots and lots of people, and my story was no different. But there came a certain point in life where I decided, well, you know what, I'd actually like to be in a relationship, in a stable relationship with someone who loves me as much as I love them, right? And that will understand the good things about me, the difficult things about me, and being able to move forward, build a relationship, build a family, and things like that. And it didn't start out actually easy, right? So it started out meeting my girlfriend, now my wife, and being able to court her. So being able to meet her, speak with her about different things. Started out with small chat. As we started to get to know one another, we had dinner and we got to meet one another, and we spent more time together, and we shared our dreams, we shared our challenges, we shared our differences. And it wasn't always easy, but the thing of it is we found that there were mutual interests, that there were things that we both wanted in life and then out of our relationship. And we spent time, we dedicated energy, and we went through the highs, and we've gone through lows together. And some things were directly family, things were business, and many other different types of things. But through it all, we knew that we had common interests, common objective, common goals, and we've been able to build those together throughout the years. And we've invested lots of time, we've invested lots of energy, and we've invested even capital, right? Because whenever you have children, then that's an investment in itself. So I would say, to make it really, really simple, to answer the question, it's no different than any other type of relationship. When you're building a broker relationship, there are 3 keys. Number 1, you have to be proactive. And the reason you have to be proactive is because brokers already have relationships. They already have people and companies that they're working with that, well, they like working with, or at least they're helping them to achieve the goals and objectives that they have. So if you're not proactive, they're not waiting around for the phone to ring, so you'll never meet them. So number 1, you need to be proactive. Number 2, especially, and I'm telling you because I live in Barcelona and I invest in the United States, that you must follow through. You must follow up, number 1, and you must follow through. And what do I mean by that? Well, when you call the broker the first time and you're proactive, chances are they're not just waiting by the phone to answer and say, hello, thank you for calling me. So you're gonna need to follow up with them. You're gonna need to send emails. You're gonna need to figure out how to get them on the phone or get them on email or on one of the different social media channels to start the relationship, to start the contact. And then once you're able to be proactive, you follow up and you follow through. Well, after that, you need to demonstrate that you're serious, because brokers have so many people that are contacting them maybe one time, never follow up, never follow through. And you need to show that you're serious about being able to invest your time, your energy, your effort in that market. And you need to be able to demonstrate really 3 things. You need to be able to demonstrate that you have character, meaning that you do what you say you're going to do, that you're competent, either you and or your team is competent or you're building that competency, and that you're committed to making sure that the relationship works, that you're not just calling one time to take as much as possible and then move back. So being able to get there, demonstrate that you're serious, and you do that by those 3 C's, by showing that you have character, that you have competency, as well as that you are committed to the marketplace or the location. And so that's the way that you can get through to building a relationship. It's a progression. It doesn't just happen overnight. You need to develop time. It starts usually offline. And when you're living in a different country, the one thing that I will say, especially for those of you, or those of us that are living in other countries, is that we must demonstrate, put our money where our mouths are, and once the relationship makes sense, you will probably, no, not probably, you will definitely need to get on a plane, get on a train, and meet the person face to face. If you're buying one house, maybe not, but when you're building a business, you definitely need to do that, because, well, very few people that I know have been married that they've never met one another, physically met one another. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen. I'm sure it does, and I'm sure you'll give me comments that it happens, but in general, you are building a relationship, a strong relationship, you're going to need to take the time, the energy, and the economics to meet the person face to face. And also, as to your question as to you're not earning the certain currency in the country, well, I'll give you my own example. I live in Europe. When I'm working my day job, because I'm working a day job, I earn in euros. And I'm investing in the United States, where the currency is dollars. So you may live in Mexico and you earn in pesos, and you want to invest in Australia, which are Australian dollars. But if you can demonstrate that you're proactive, you're following up, you're following through, and you are serious, meaning that you have character, competency, and commitment, then I think that your opportunity in Australia, they will convert your pesos or your euros into the local currency. So I hope that this has been helpful. Because also, as I mentioned before, like, I am working in a corporate job. At the same time, I'm building my own business. I know a lot of you are interested in doing something very similar. So I'm making it very easy for you to not make the same mistakes that I did. I've written a free ebook. You can pick that up at keeponcashflow.com/roadmap. That's keeponcashflow.com/roadmap. Just leave your email address and your name, and I'll send that free ebook out to you right away. And then that way you don't have to make the same mistakes that I did. So I hope that this has answered your question specifically. And for those of you that want to know more about investing long distance, please leave your comments, leave your questions, because I love answering your questions, as I mentioned before. So this is Billy Keels. That's my 2 cents for today. And as always, hasta la próxima.